black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.
Hi, JEANDRA, how are you?
I'm great, Tom. How are you doing? I like your long hair.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. Nathan Drake has so many skills and abilities that help him in this quest to find this treasure. I've enjoyed your social media and the stunts and the things that you've been posting. So what's something you can do now that you weren't able to do before this film physically, if anything?
I think one of the biggest skills I learned for this film was the ability to be a bartender. You know, in preparation for this film, I went to bartending school. I did a few shifts at a bar here in London, and, you know, I learned to juggle and you know, pour the drinks from a long way away and all that sort of stuff. So I really, really enjoyed that, and it has proved to be very helpful for a house party here and there.
That's awesome. For real, I'm a bartender too, Tom. I didn't know that. We ought to, you know, collaborate, make us a Tom.
Are you a bartender as well? What's your favorite drink to make?
I like to make these rainbow shots because they're so labor intensive, but it's like once you make them, everyone wants them. So you end up making the same thing all night. Try making a chocolate cake shot. That's pretty awesome too.
Okay, I'll look into that.
For sure. Nathan is someone that character is just so iconic, not even just for gamers, but I think a lot of people are familiar with Uncharted, the game, the characters, and all these other things. How do you think this type of fandom differs from, say, other fandoms that you're a big part of?
I think what's so impressive about the gaming fandom is this sense of solidarity, you know, because in the world of gaming, like, you can play together on other sides of the world, you know. So with Nathan Drake, I think the relationship with him is that people have felt like they have become him. You know, they've played him for, I don't know what, I think it's 15 years now that the games have been on sale. And they've sold 40 million copies around the world. So it's a huge game with a huge fan base, which is, you know, the reason why this film was so pressurizing for us from a creative point of view, because we needed to create something that people already know and love and have their own opinion of. So there was a lot of pressure in creating this character. We have showed the film to a collection of real diehard Uncharted fans, and they all loved the movie, which is a great start, but we still have a lot of work to do, and I hope that people enjoy it as much as we did making it.
I hope so too. Gaming films are so fun just to see how it's adapted, how you guys move, because you think of the old versions of video games where it's, you know, and then just how it's evolved. It's crazy what video games have evolved to from when I was young 100 years ago. So in this film, it's all about the treasure hunt and finding something. What's something you've lost at home recently that you still cannot find?
Do you know what? It's actually a really sad story. For my 18th birthday, my grandparents bought me a signet ring with my initials on, and on the inside it said "Love from Granny and Granddad." And I've worn it ever since, and it has never once fallen off my finger. And the other day, I was packing up my house because we were about to go to New York to shoot this TV show, and I looked down and it was gone, and I still haven't found it yet. And I tore the house apart looking for it. So hopefully that will turn up. It does have my name on it. So if anyone finds it and doesn't turn it in, you're a scumbag, because I really need that ring back.
Complete dirt bag. Well, fans, Tom Holland needs new jewelry. So send all your jewelry to his people so he can wear them like NBA rings. Okay. Well, Tom, I appreciate you. You're so much fun, and this is such a great film. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Hello, Mark. Good to be with you. Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. Thank you. Victor, these kind of movies are fascinating to me because you have these characters who've been adapted from a game, but they have all these tools and things they can utilize to get to the goal. And in this case, find treasure and all these items. What's something that you personally couldn't do before this film that you think you can do now?
Well, I've always been working on the ability to empower people, motivate them, inspire them to dig a little bit deeper and go a little further and think out the box and not limit themselves to what they can accomplish. I think, that's how I got into the position that I'm in. I always felt like I could do more, wanted to do more. I've always been on this kind of holy quest for greatness, both in my personal life as well as my professional life. So, I think with Sully, he's a master manipulator. So he just tell everybody what they wanted to hear and utilize that to get them to help him to get to his main objective, which was the gold. But the goal is to always strive for more and better and work harder and be better at everything that you do.
All right, come on, feel it. So with this, you have you have different fandoms, right? And video game fandoms are in a world of their own. Uncharted is such a popular game worldwide. What would you say is the biggest difference between gaming fandoms that you've observed compared to other types of fandom, like other big budget film fandom type of people?
Well, I think the gamers are so precious about especially these characters because they're the ones playing the game and they're in control of what these characters are doing. And now they have to render that control to the filmmakers and the people that are playing these parts. But we wanted to make sure, as we know how precious these characters are to them, that we can honor them, make them proud, do them justice, and then also bring another audience that's not familiar with the game or the Uncharted universe and make them just as excited and entertained throughout their experience of watching the film.
Do you remember your first game? Not necessarily Uncharted, but just gaming in general. Do you remember your first gaming experience?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we used to just beg our parents, my dad or my mom, for a quarter to be able to go to either the laundromat had a video game and the bar, they would let us into the bar to play the game. They had Defender, Pac-Man, Asteroids, Galaga, all these games. I mean, we lived for that. We would do anything. We'd go shovel snow. We'd deliver newspapers, any kind of odd job you could get to get some money to be able to go and pump into that machine. We were doing that. And I have one of those in my house now, but the great thing about it is you have all those games in one. So you can pick which game you're playing, but it is a big stand-up arcade style game.
Oh, that's tight because Galaga is my game.
What's your highest level?
Ooh, I don't know. I was just always excited when I could shoot the thing and I could get the little double.
Oh, you got doubled. Yeah. When they capture your ship and then you get the doubles and then you get the challenge stage and you get a perfect 40.
You wasn't clear enough.
10,000 bonus.
And lastly, are video games even 25 cents? What do you think kids are playing for video games now? Or are they even playing in arcades anymore?
Oh, no. We had a little incident with our kids where we didn't realize what was going on, and they had, my wife had the phone with the credit card in the phone, and they're buying their way into another level as opposed to winning their way into another level. We started seeing these credit card bills. We had to take the game away and everything. We shut them down. That video game is gone, not to come back. It's not to come back.
I had to do that to mine too. Well, I thank you, sir, for your time. Video games are very precious to me as well, and I thank you for talking to me. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
Take care. Oh, I love your hair.
Thank you, JEANDRA. Thank you so much.
Oh, the pleasure is mine. Thank you for your time. I love what you brought to Braddock. This precision. This sometimes a villain takes many forms. It's not just the big brooding thing that we're used to. When you thought of a villain in your mind, what was your definition of what a villain is, and how did that inform your choices to portray Braddock?
I think that simply put, what a villain is someone who places the objective above human empathy in any case, has a complete disregard for human life, human empathy, whatever the case, just to get the goal. And then so for Braddock, how that informed her was that, exactly that, like she is a psychopath. She is somebody that will stop at nothing to get that gold, and more so the power that she could have with it. But more than anything, I think her as a villain, I wanted to do, like you're saying, of what does a classy villain look like? Not one that's brutish and like ogreish or anything. Like, how can you make a villain subtle but still powerful? Was the biggest question in my mind.
For sure. with a part like this, the rigors are tremendous. In addition to just acting the scenes themselves, what were some techniques that worked for you that helped you find the balance between those two things, having those physical rigors and still being able to deliver the lines in a way that you felt fully conveyed that villain behavior?
I think it was just like sort of like really working in those physical parts so that when doing them, there's less thought that has to be put into the physical aspect of it and more so just into the acting itself. So like I was with a lot of those stunts and thing, I was anytime I could get like with the stunt coordinators in some practice, even with like my stunt doubles, like I wanted to do over and over and over again to just get it sort of miled in so I could focus on the performance part of it. Yeah.
Films like these are always interesting because the fandom is so strong on the lead in, you know, people think they know the arc of how the story is going to go before you guys began to shoot and you knew you had the role in the bag and rehearsals and all that. Did you tap into any fandom just to see thoughts out there as a whole about Uncharted, or did you look into any of that?
No, I did start playing the games just because I really wanted to be as true to the world for sure as possible to honor the fans in that way. But I didn't necessarily want to be, I guess, too influenced from that standpoint of reading comments or reading things in that way. I wanted to, because I had so much freedom with Braddock not being in the games, I really wanted to express that freedom in creating her. So yeah, just went to the games.
That's awesome. Well, this was fun. I mean, the stunt work, the visuals, it's fantastic. When you had a chance to see any parts of the movie, how did you react to seeing yourself that way in this world?
It was trippy. Like, I mean, the first time that I really saw anything was like, you know, my ADR sessions, having to go in and just was able at first to see like snippets and clips. And like, you know, just seeing me standing next to Mark Wahlberg was just like really mind-blowing. To see, like, I only got snippets of fights. I didn't get to see any of the full fights until I got to see the full movie last week. But like in that way, I was really proud of myself to be like, oh whoa, like yeah, I did that. And I did like majority of my stunts myself. So it was a very proud experience, and rewarding in a lot of ways. And I know it will continue to be. And once we get the feedback from everyone, I think everyone will be really pleased. So I'm excited.
That's awesome. Well, I thank you for your time. Congratulations. Super excited to see the reactions to it. And I appreciate you talking to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, JEANDRA. I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too. Take care. Thank you, Sophia, for your time. I appreciate it. Earlier, when I spoke with your co-star, Tati,
have we met before?
We could have. We might have.
You just look so familiar.
See, we have kindred spirits. We have to have ice cream together.
Why ice cream?
I like the colors of your dress. It just
Thank
makes
you.
me think of like a beautiful, like a sorbet or something.
Okay, yeah. Some cotton candy flavor.
Yeah, for sure.
Yum.
When I was talking to Tati earlier, we discussed how, you know, there's the trope of the good guy and bad guy and what that looks like in previous films. And here with you and her, you're redefining what that looks like. So for Chloe, when you think of the protagonist, or if she's wherever she lies within the gray of good and bad, where does she lie in that? And how do you think that that's evolved in a role like this for you?
Yeah, I think it's tricky with Chloe, you know, because she is kind of perceived as, just had lunch, she is perceived as like a villain somewhat, you know, not really fully a hero, because her motivations seem pretty like selfish, but I don't really know if she is a villain, you know. I think that I just don't really think she cares so much about being good as much as Nate does, but I think that like in the end, she actually does, you know, care, and she has a heart, and she actually is capable of compassion, you know, and that does come, it plays into her decision making as she gets to know these guys, you know, and start to begin to trust them. So I think that, you know, it sort of leads to how she is a good person in the end.
They have all of that, you know, it's such a great
sense?
thing, good. Yeah, it does. Because there is no, you know, when they're doing what they're doing, they're in pursuit of these, you know, of things, of trinkets and things. And so you can't be entirely good or entirely bad when you're in pursuit of something that didn't belong to you in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're all criminals.
Exactly. With there's so many rigors to roles like this, rigors and fandom and all these interesting elements that make anticipating this movie exciting. What are you looking most forward to once the movie becomes live?
I guess I'm looking forward to the fans of the game's reaction. Like truly, like because I think it's like the games, and I geeked out over it when I watched it, you know. So I'm curious to see what they think.
You know, it's always fun to see what fan reactions are. Did you guys ever play on set just to kill some time? Because when you shoot something epic like this, you have time to kill.
Did we? Maybe. Yeah, I think we did.
Well, that's awesome.
In Tom's trailer, maybe not.
I don't know. Maybe, you know, maybe that'll be the reunion tour for you guys. I appreciate it.
We get together and we play.
You know, you should stream it on Twitch. That would be a lot of fun too.
Oh yeah, it would. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you. I know you guys are going the extra mile. We are super excited to see this film. I appreciate your time so much. And I do want to have ice cream with you.
Let's do it. Let's go get some so bad.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerds. Better shake your booties for black girl nerds.